There was a time when creating felt personal. Not always in an egoic way, not always as pride, but there was a sense that what was made said something about who I was. What I created felt connected to me. It carried my effort, my taste, my intention. It belonged to me, even after it was finished. But lately, that sense of ownership has softened. This episode is about what it's like to create when what appears doesn't need to be called yours. For much of life, creation is tied to identity. We make things and then stand behind them. We explain them. We protect them. We hope they're received in a certain way. Creation becomes a statement. This is what I think. This is what I can do. This is what I offer. Even small acts of creativity can carry this weight. A sentence, a decision, a solution, a way of doing something. It all quietly reinforces a sense of self. But there may come a time when that reinforcement isn't needed. You still create. You still make things. You still respond creatively to situations. But what arises doesn't feel owned. It feels like something that happened. At first, this can feel disorienting. Without ownership, creativity may feel less solid. You may wonder whether what you're doing still counts, whether it has value if it isn't claimed. But nothing essential has gone missing. What's gone missing is possession. Creating without calling it yours doesn't mean you stop caring about what you do. It means care isn't tied to authorship. You do what's needed. You shape what appears. You respond creatively to the moment. And when it's done, it's done. You don't carry it forward as part of your identity. This can feel surprisingly freeing. You're no longer measuring yourself through what you make. You're not accumulating proof. You're not building a portfolio of self. Creation becomes lighter. You may notice this in everyday moments. Solving a problem at work, cooking a meal, offering an idea in conversation. Adjusting something quietly so it works better. You don't think, I did that. You think, that happened. And then you move on. This episode isn't about rejecting credit or pretending effort doesn't exist. Effort still happens. Skill still matters. Attention still shapes outcome. But none of that needs to be attached to a sense of self. You don't need to hold on to what you've made. When creation isn't owned, it also isn't defended. You're less concerned with whether it's good enough, original enough, or appreciated enough. You don't need to stand by it. If it's useful, it's useful. If it's not, it fades. Nothing collapses. This can feel unfamiliar if you've spent a long time identifying with your abilities. Letting go of ownership can feel like letting go of importance. But importance was never what made creation alive. Responsiveness was. Creating without calling it yours allows creativity to move more freely. There's less hesitation, less self-editing. You're not trying to ensure that what you make reflects well on you. You're simply responding. This doesn't mean everything becomes careless or rough. In fact, attention often sharpens. When you're not preoccupied with ownership, you can focus fully on what's needed. You're not distracted by how it reflects on you. This can change how you experience success and failure. When something works, there's satisfaction without inflation. When something doesn't, there's adjustment without collapse. Nothing is personal. You may notice that this also changes how you relate to praise. Praise can be received without being absorbed. It doesn't need to reinforce anything. You hear it. You acknowledge it. It passes. Criticism behaves the same way. You listen if it's helpful. You let it go if it's not. There's no need to defend what isn't owned. This episode isn't about becoming invisible. You're still present. You're still contributing. But you're not using creation to stabilize yourself. You're not building something out of yourself. You're allowing something to happen. This can feel like creativity returning to its natural place, as part of life, not a personal project. Children often create this way. They draw, build, imagine, and then move on. There's no attachment to outcome. No need to preserve what was made. Over time, we learn to claim creation as ours. It becomes something we carry. When that claiming isn't needed anymore, creation regains its lightness. You may notice that ideas come and go more freely. You don't need to capture them all. You don't worry about losing something important. If an idea returns, it returns. If it doesn't, nothing is lost. This episode isn't about doing less. It's about doing without burden. You're not responsible for what comes through you. You're available. Creation becomes a movement, not a possession. This can feel deeply relieving if you felt pressure to produce, express, or contribute in a way that defines you. You don't need to define yourself through what you make. You don't need to leave a trace. What you do matters in the moment it's needed. After that, it's free to disappear. If you're listening to this and noticing that what you do no longer feels tied to who you are, that you're making, helping, responding without ownership, you're not disengaging. You're creating without calling it yours. If these reflections feel like something you can return to, you're welcome to stay. Liking the video helps it reach others who may feel pressure around creativity or contribution. And if you want to keep a steady space like this available, you can subscribe, not for expression or recognition, but for companionship. If someone you care about seems quieter in how they create lately, less invested in credit, less attached to outcome, you're welcome to share this with them, only if it feels right. You don't need to own what you make for it to be meaningful. It only needs to happen, and then it can go.